Hey guys. Okay, so it's been a while. It's been a little bit since I did my last video. Why I think keep the camera up a bit more. There we go. It's been a while since I did that video about why I think Rise will fail. Now that we've sort of got new information and we got the character reveals, literally soon after I did that video, the character reveals got done, and I was just like, everyone's gonna be doing this. Why would I just throw my 2 cents in? Because my opinion was I didn't know how I felt, so why would I make a video if I didn't have a clear opinion about it? Well, the beginning of this video is going to be talking about how they look, and then the rest of the video is going to be talking about why I think the show might do good, but it also might not. So just keep that in mind. We won't know till it comes out. So I start off with the turtles, or yeah, I'm gonna start off with the turtles. Even though Raphael's the leader now, I'm just gonna start with Leo. So Leonardo, he has gloves on, weird looking shoe sock things on. I don't know what those are. He has a blue belt and one shoulder strap. His mask is still blue, so that's obvious. They got rid of the tradition of bandages on the wrists and elbows and knees. They got rid of that tradition here, and that. Oh well. Traditions are meant to be made to be broken, I guess. Just like rules are made to be broken. Okay, so I'll move on. I like the cool new add-ons, the gloves and everything. That's pretty cool. He has red around his face because in this one they're all different species, which I think it's a neat idea, but a lot of people aren't seeming to like it too much. But oh well, I think it's a neat idea. So Leonardo's a rated slider, which is why he has the red here. And he also has yellow stripes on him in places, which is just like rated sliders have. Don't know why the back of his shell is kind of a bluish though. Bluish gray. That's not what the back of the real rated sliders shells look like, but oh well. And here's where another problem comes in. Instead of having two katana or ninjakin, whatever, instead of having ninjakin, he has an odachi, or quote unquote odachi. Because I looked up a picture of an odachi, and that's not what an odachi looks like. But it's just like Leonardo's katanas are actually ninjakin. I guess this is some other sword, but they're gonna call it odachi. Anyway, he only has one instead of two, which is disappointing. But yeah, at least he still has a sword. That's pretty cool. Now, as for the style, it's done by the same people who did Samurai Jack. People are saying they don't like this. They're saying it looks terrible. It's lazy, and I'm just like, it's okay looking. It's not the worst thing ever. Eh. Then here's Donatello. Instead of having a regular bow staff, now he has a tech staff. I guess it's still a staff, but it's now more technical, robotic. As it looks like it has a grappling hook on the end of it, which some people have mistaken for a spear. His head is kind of squarish, which a lot of people aren't liking, but oh well. He has goggles on, and he's more serious looking here. Remember in my last video I said that they changed him up slightly? He's still the science one, but he's also a bit smartass. According to this, it's the opposite of what I said. They made him more serious than any other Don. I mean, depending on which incarnation you're going with, Don can either be silly or kind of serious, but not too serious. This one, he's full on serious, which is, in my opinion, not Donnie, but at least they kept the part about him being the science guy. You gotta keep that in. But they just made him too serious. What is he, Batman? Or here's a reference that some people might get. Ghost from the Punk Turtles. If you don't know what that is, look it up. But anyway. He has knee pads, and I guess those are elbow pads. I think that's what those are. So yeah, they kept it on him, but they didn't keep the bandages on the wrist. Instead, he has sort of gloves and the sort of same sock things that Leo has. And he has a communicator on his wrist. And the biggest thing, or I guess not the biggest thing, but he has a full-headed mask now. It goes over the whole top. which some people are liking it, some people are hating it. The biggest thing is he has the armored shell on his back. Because what type of turtle he is, he's a soft-shelled. So he built armor on his back to, help him. Which is a neat idea. Kind of like it. So here's how they changed it on. He's overly serious now, but he'll make a wisecrack. Kind of okay. Then we get to Raphael. Oh boy. I mean, yeah, where do I begin with this? Okay, so I don't even know. Those are kind of elbow pads, but they're kind of custom to fit the spikes on his elbow. Whatever. He doesn't have any knee pads, nothing. He has two red things near the top of his leg. I'm like, are those shorts? Is he wearing shorts that go underneath his shell, or are those just two random red straps on his legs? I don't know. His belt is red. Oh, and if I forgot to mention, Donatello's belt is purple. Everything on him is purple. So that's the theme with this. Their belts are the same color as their mask, which I can go with that. But, okay, then he has bandages on his hands, just like 2012 did. But the other turtles don't have that, so that's kind of out of place. And he has one bandage on his shell over here. He has a full headed mask again, which have the rips on the end of them. 2012 kind of had. And remember how 2012 Raph had one crack on the front and then one on the back? Well, this Raph shell is all kind of fucked up. Cracks here, 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 here. It's all broken to shit. Like, Jesus, they overdid it. He also has spikes on his shoulder. And now, the reason why he has these spikes is because he's a snapping turtle in this one. Which I guess that fits him. Seems like the kind of turtle he would be if he wasn't a red slider. So I'll go with it. But here's my biggest problem with his design. He's based off the 2014 Raph slightly. Which is, I don't like that. Because why you gotta make Raphael so big? 2012 Raphael wasn't gigantic. It's like what they did with Knuckles in Sonic Boom. I get it. He's supposed to be the strong one. So, and in past games, he never looked that strong. He looked like he had little stick arms. So they decided to bulk him up. Which I would have been fine with, but they got rid of his boxing gloves, which is kind of like a Knuckles staple. Well, they did a similar thing here, but I'll get to that later. Right now we're talking about the design itself, not the weapon. Anyway, the reason why I don't like it when Raphael gets bulked up is because then he looks out of place with the rest of his brothers. Here's what people have been saying. They don't fit with each other. It's like, so every other incarnation, the turtles always seem to match with each other. And you can tell which turtle belongs to which group. Say if you took all the 2003s, just removed Donatello, and you switch around 87 Don and 2003 Don, mix them together, they would seem out of place in their groups. We'd have 3 87s, but then one 2003. It wouldn't look like he's supposed to be there. They don't fit. They don't match. And that's the reason why I don't like Raphael being so big. Because it looks like he's gonna clash with the rest of his brothers. He doesn't look like he belongs there. And finally, moving on to his weapon. They got rid of his sai for Tonfa. Which I know what they're going for with this. In the original comics, issue 9, The Passing, a preteen Mutant Ninja Turtle story, they were younger, and apparently Raphael started out with Tonfa, and Michelangelo started out with a Manriki Gusari, aka a Kusari Fundo. But then, as they got older, they switched to the sai and nunchuck. So I get what they're doing here. And they've actually confirmed, I'll get to the rest of this news later, but they confirmed that they're going to switch back to sai. But anyway, that's about the biggest gripe I have with this Raph. Said he's too big, he doesn't fit in with the rest of the verse. Now moving on to Michelangelo, my favorite turtle. First off, let's get his weapon out of the way. He doesn't have his nunchucks anymore. He has a Kusari Fundo, as they call it, but it also goes by another name, a Manriki Gusari, which like I said before, he used in issue 9 of the original comics, but he's also used it a few times, I think once in 87, episode 3. So yeah, it's pretty cool. His knee pad, he doesn't have any gloves on, like the Leo and Don do. He doesn't have bandages like Raph, but instead he has like a weird strap around his wrist. Sort of reminds me of 87, how they had the colored straps around their wrists, as well as their elbow pads and knee pads. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that, except he doesn't have anything on his elbows here. Oh, and he's a box turtle. He's going to be having a unique feature. He's going to be able to go into his shell. And this version of Michelangelo is an extreme artist. So if you're wondering what the lightning bolts on his shell are, stickers and paint. He painted himself. And he has knee pads. Unlike the rest of them, he actually has knee pads. Not the traditional knee pads we're used to, but knee pads nonetheless. And he actually drew faces on them, which I think is pretty cool. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it, but I think it's cool. I could picture Mikey doing that. And my ex-girlfriend, Kate, she still makes fun of me for this, but when I first saw that, I thought the spiky ball on the end of the string was a hamburger. And she will never let me live that down. She's like, you idiot. Now let's get on to the smaller details like his belt. For me, one, it's not. So the theme with them, remember what I said earlier about how they clash with each other, they don't look like they belong with each other? Like you take 2003s, they all fit with each other, then 87s, they all fit with each other. Well, there's some things about all these guys that make them not fit with each other. Like there's the theme. Leo's belt is blue, like his mask. Don's belt is purple, like his mask. Raph's belt is red, like his mask. Then Mikey's belt is not orange, it's brown. It doesn't fit. Leo and Don have gloves, Raph and Mikey don't. Leo, Don, Mikey have things on their feet, Raph doesn't. They all don't match with each other. It just doesn't work. And also the fact that Mikey's belt is raised up higher instead of down lower like we're used to. It's raised up higher and has a strap, which is just weird to me. Not sure if I'm going to be into that. That's kind of going to bug the hell out of me, but oh well. Still pretty good, Mikey. His skin tone is the same as 2003, or at least similar, and his head shape reminds me of 2012 Mikey. It's pretty good. I'm saving the worst for last, so let's skip over Splinter for now and move on to April. Now listen, I don't give a shit about race. You can be black, white, Asian, Hispanic, I don't care. Because it doesn't matter. So I'm not going to complain about her being black. In fact, I'm glad they made her black. Because little did you know, the original April from the original comics, the original black and white comics, was originally intended to be black. It's just that when they colorized it, when they made the color versions of the comics, they colored her white because every other TV show and incarnation made her white. So they just thought it was supposed to be white. No. If you look at one of the covers of one of the old comics, which the covers were in color while the comics themselves were black and white, if you look at one of the covers, she's actually a very light-skinned black woman. She's like a mix of black, white, and Asian. She's a mix of different heritages. And the reason why is because her design and personality were based off Eastman's girlfriend at the time. Now she's his ex, but oh well. And she is black with a little bit Asian in her. While Peter Laird pictured her as a white-skinned woman with red hair, a redhead, which is what the show and most other incarnations went with. I think it's good they finally did a Black April again. It's because that was in there in the original, and they haven't done it since. But I don't think the reason why they're doing it is to pay tribute to that. They're just doing it because of this diversity crap that's been going on recently. Other than that, let me talk about the design itself, not just the race. They gave her glasses like Irma. Seriously, it looks like they mixed April and Irma together and made her black. This is pretty cool. They kind of forced in that yellow shirt there. It's like, I get it. April was known for wearing yellow, but not every incarnation has her in yellow. If this yellow shirt on her feels kind of forced, and her yellow boots. She has a glowing baseball bat, which is odd, but alright. I think I prefer with a Tessa, but alright. And it's a pretty cool design. Head shape seems a bit weird if you look behind those glasses. Her head's not like this, it's more like... It's weird. Maybe it'll look better in the actual show itself. Now let's move on to the worst design that I absolutely do not like at all. Oh shit, I just noticed the time. This video is going to be longer than 20 minutes. I still have more to say. So let me just go over Splinter real quick. This has got to be the worst design for Splinter ever. And Splinter is such an awesome, great character who demands a lot of respect in every incarnation he's in. He's the wise old master. You show him respect. Here, I can't take this guy seriously. Hell, either I'm laughing at him or I'm scared of him. He has that growling facial feature, like, it looks like he's about to beat one of the turtles. You're gonna beat him. And these, and this on his head, stereotypical Chinese, and he's not even supposed to be Chinese, he's supposed to be Japanese. You fucked that up. It's stereotypical. I don't like it. I didn't like 2014 Splinter because they added those stereotypical features on him. I didn't like that. And what do? They add it in here. He looks kind of like a mixture of Ren from Ren and Stimpy, the 2003 Splinter, with the gray fur, and the ancient one from 2003. They mixed all three of those together and made this abomination, and I don't like it. Well, it's a thing now. Other than questionable designs, the show itself may have some potential. I seen the toys. The toys got revealed also here recently. And when I first glanced at the normal size toys, I was like, those don't look right. Look off to me. Then I looked at the 11-inch ones. I'm like, those look a bit better. Just a bit. And we learned some new facts about the show in those toy reveals and about the video that I've seen. So there's going to be a new there's going to be a new mutant named Meat Sweats, who's literally going to sweat meat, which is weird, but oh well. And we also learned that Raphael starts out as the leader, and that it might switch back to Leo later in the series. And also a high chance of them switching back to their real weapons. Or not back, but getting to their real weapons. They said for the first season, Raphael will have Tonfa, and he will be the leader. So that's good. Maybe the show won't be so bad. I also learned some new facts about Splinter. He starts out as... Okay, so Splinter in all the past incarnations. He's their teacher, their master, their father. He loves them like they're his sons, and they love him like he's their dad. It's the family bond they've had. Here, it's going to start out like Splinter's just taking care of them because they need a place to go. They're just like roommates at first. They said he starts out not like the Splinter we all know and love, but over time he slowly becomes the Splinter we know and love. Which I'm glad they said that. They said he's gonna become the Splinter we know. And he's just not gonna be like they first implied with Leo, how he's just gonna be a douchebag instead of the Leo. I won't go on this rant because screw it. Point is, that's going to be a thing. And apparently, there's going to be a secret underground city underneath New York. And it's gonna be where the turtles find out about their mystical powers. Also, there's going to be a weird little cat-looking thing that's apparently April's sidekick. It also comes from the Mystic Underground City. I don't know. Also, the show is not going to be 22 minutes long. It's going to be 11 minutes long. Kind of a disappointment, but oh well. Show could still be good within just 11 minutes. They said it's going to be silly, yes. It's going to have its silly moments because it is meant to be a slightly sillier show. But they clearly established, hell no, we're not going Teen Titans Go level. Powerpuff Girls reboot, Ben 10 reboot. They're not going that route, hell no. This is not Cartoon Network. This is Nickelodeon. They're gonna go Nickelodeon silly, not just full on dumb. So thank God for that. But let's hope they don't take it too silly. But anyway, this show might actually be good now. Now that they revealed this stuff, everything might go back to the way we expected in other incarnations. Also, a thing about the toys that got mentioned. We've seen the toys, and in the description of the show, Raphael's the biggest turtle, the oldest one, the strongest one, and the leader. Well, according to this toy, you could just say it's the toy's scales being inaccurate to the show, like 2012 figures. Leatherhead I had was like shorter than Donatello, when in the show he was big enough to pick up Donatello. So you could say that maybe the toys has got the scaling wrong, but according to Kate, maybe Raphael won't be as big as we expect him to be. Maybe he won't just tower over the other turtles. Maybe he'll just be slightly buffer, and when he's standing on the side next to him, he'll be slightly taller than Don, but he won't look like he's just big while they're all me. I don't know, but they clearly say he's the biggest one, and in that picture where they're all jumping, over the city, he looks like he's much bigger than them, but that could be just because they're way in the background. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see when the show comes out. And then again, there was that picture where he's carrying Leo and he looks big. Yeah, that throws that out the window. Still, though, bad design choices aside, the story might still be good. And they also said Shredder doesn't exist in this world yet. He's going to. So, yes, when they say it's the rise of the turtles, they literally mean it. It's starting at the beginning before it gets to what we all know. And now that I know that, maybe the show won't be so bad. Maybe it'll actually be something interesting. Maybe Dawn will loosen a bit. Leonardo will become more responsible, take the role as leader. Raph will get more angry. And Mikey will stay Mikey. And Splinter will become more of a father. It's just, I get what they're doing with it now. They're showing what it was like before they became those things. Why didn't I think of that? So maybe the show will be good. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. Oh, and there's apparently going to be a thing called an origami ninja, which is a foot soldier. So is it going to be like little origami papers grow magically into big ninjas, and when you destroy them, they turn back into little origamis and are all ripped up like shreds? That's what I imagine, but we'll have to wait and see in the show. Just a few more months and it'll be here. Just gotta wait. But anyway, anything else that must be said? Oh yeah. Crap, what was I gonna say? Oh crap, I don't remember. What was I gonna say? It'll come to me later. Point is, long and short of it is, the show might not be bad. It might turn out good. Still, just, go into it with an open mind. Maybe you'll find it good. If you go into it with the mindset of, this is not like other versions of Turtles, it doesn't get this one thing right, no, it sucks. 2012 didn't have Cowabunga at first. It started out with Booyakasha. And look at it. It's in most people's hearts, the definitive Turtles. So just go into this with an open mind. Don't be so closed-minded like I was when I made my last video. It's ironic. I started out with an open mind, being like, this is gonna be good. Then I got the information. Raph would be the leader and all that. I'm like, okay, this is gonna suck. Now I got this info and I'm like, maybe it will be good. We'll see. Go into it with an open mind and just remember, this is not the old Turtles that you're used to. Just keep in mind that these are a new set of Turtles things are going to be different. And if you don't like how they're different, like they do one thing you didn't accept, say for Raph being the leader, if you don't accept that, stick to 2012. The show may be canceled and over, but just try to get all the episodes on DVD and watch them if you want. If you're maybe your turtles are the 87s, that's all that on DVD. If you're trying to get every episode of 2003 though, good luck. You're gonna need some region coding free DVD player, and you're gonna have to go all the way to was it Australia? Maybe Australia. Buy a copy of Back to the Sewers. They need to straighten their shit out with the DVD releases on that show. But anyway, yeah, I'm I'm just gonna leave it off here now because before it's going a huger rant. All right, see y'all next time.